But this whole Kevin Hart thing. I mean, we didn't really get a chance to talk about it. So Kevin Hart
kind of happened pretty fast,
really quick. He got hired to be the Oscar host, and just like that, he was asked to leave because there were tweets that were brought up from I think 2009, stuff to where he was talking about his kid. If his kid ever, wait, how old was he? How old were the tweets?
9.
They're from how many years ago?
Sorry, Cobbs.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I don't know how many it was.
We were just wondering how many
9.
years ago.
It was from the 9th. Okay.
All right.
It was about 2009.
I think it was a little less than that.
8th.
You think it was
Yeah.
8th? I don't know if that's true. 2008? I thought it was 2000. All right. So there's something along the lines of his kid. If his kid came home and found out he was gay, he would hit him over the head with a guitar or something. What was it?
And he said he would have done a bad job as a parent.
Right. They're stupid tweets, horrible tweets. And the defense, I think, was comedy and things trying to be funny. So I'm on. He was asked to. First of all, he was asked to apologize by the Academy, to which he refused to do.
They said you are still welcome to host the Oscars,
But you have to apologize.
if you apologize.
He refused to. Got asked to leave, and then he apologized.
He left and apologized.
Right.
It was a really strange
Really weird.
order of things,
Yeah.
too. First of all, he wouldn't apologize because he claimed he had already apologized.
Right, for an article like previously in some magazine a while ago.
Which, when I started looking it up, he really didn't apologize. What he said was, I wouldn't make those jokes today because of the times and how
Right.
people would take it, which is not really an apology, in my opinion. But also, if you already have apologized and the Academy's asking you to, and you already feel sorry, just say sorry again.
Yeah.
So then when they gave him the ultimatum to decide, no, I'm not going to do what you guys are asking, and then to apologize.
Right.
What?
Well, here's the thing. The first thing is let's take it's touchy because for comedians in general, right? I think if he tells, even though not very funny, right?
Yeah.
If he tells this story and does it in a Kevin Hart way, and he does it on stage at the Laugh Factory, or the Comedy Store, again, crafts the jokes, makes them touchy subjects. We were talking with Brian Holtzman and everything. It's in his right to try to do those jokes, whether you like them or not, right? Now, the difference is here with the Academy. The Academy, first of all, said, "Hey, we want you to do this. Just apologize for these things. That's what we want for our business. For what we want from you. We're hiring you. What we would like you to do is this." No. Okay. Well, then it's our business. We're going to have to let you go.
They had every right to do
They had
that.
every right to do it. Now, it's people again can go and say whether it's people are making it about comedians and telling jokes, or whether it's black and white, or these types of things. I think that the Academy, because they asked, they didn't just cut him loose right away. They asked him to apologize. That was the stipulation. If he apologized, they would keep him. He didn't. So that was it. Okay, fine. So he basically just told us to go fuck ourselves.
Yeah.
It's exactly what a lot of people wished had happened with James Gunn. Not all people, but that Disney had given him the opportunity, at least the chance to say something, apologize, try to reconcile for what he had done.
Interesting point.
But they didn't. They just let him go. But with Kevin Hart, I think that this was society trying to learn a little bit from that.
Yeah, it was tough. It's an interesting thing because once again the comedic, because of who he is as a comedian. It's also why, once again, going back to the fact of why people should stay off Twitter. Twitter in general, I know this is 2009. Twitter is not. It doesn't translate. The same way if you're texting back and forth with someone, it does not translate. At all. Honestly, a lot of the stuff just wasn't funny. But he could have. This is the thing with bringing back the late great George Carlin. George Carlin said you can make anything funny, to which I agree with, depending on how you and who you
Deliver
are.
it.
Depends on who you are. Depends on how you deliver it. Depends on how it's said. And it could have been funny if maybe he did this whole sketch or did some things or turned it back around. It could have eventually been funny. Doing it in text, bad move.
Yeah. Did you see Nick Cannon then?
I did.
Yeah.
He then goes after
Amy Schumer, Sarah
Silverman pulls up their old tweets with strong wording.
They're not hired for the Oscars.
Exactly.
They're not hired.
And they haven't refused to apologize.
But he was pointing the barrel of those tweets, as I'm calling it, towards Wreck-It Ralph and Disney, and saying, "Look at this," and it's
right.
awful.
Such a dangerous game to be playing.
It is.
It really is. It's now we're establishing something that anybody is not safe.
Yeah.
Like for whatever you say, you like. And I'm seeing that culture now in people like, I've seen some people go out on Twitter and saying like, "F you, I don't care." Pull, these are my tweets. I'm
Is
standing
Dorian
by,
out
but
there?
I don't know.
Check
We'll take a look right now.
Yeah, check if Dorian's out there. I'd like to, if so, bring him in the booth because I want to get his opinion on this situation too.
It
Yeah,
just,
he's here. We're gonna bring him in.
Yeah, bring him into your booth. I want to ask him some questions about it.
I just don't understand if you do feel sorry for something you did, and they're asking you to say sorry, and you want the job, just say sorry.
Right, and that's
Yeah, he had said this is the life dream of his.
Yeah,
yeah.
like-
I
Right.
mean,
Which is so sad.
then
to
maybe
think.
make it.
Then maybe make it happen because it's attainable. If you're claiming you are sorry because you've already apologized. So it just was so, to me, this is somebody putting their foot down for no reason and a lack of humility.
yeah. Maybe they didn't. Maybe he's trying to. Maybe they called his bluff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Dorian in there?
No, he's busy right now.
Oh, great.
Get pulled in, so.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay. Well, there
What was your thought
Well,
process?
because again, a lot of times when we are the four of us are sitting here, we're all white, and in fact,
is true.
It's true, right? And I think that sometimes it'll be like, well, you didn't have anybody in, a person of color in there to get their conversation too. And I think that it is it's a thing that people have been throwing out there. It's a thing that people have been saying. Is it because of race? Is it because he was a comedian that had told bad jokes? Was there a vendetta against him? It's like I also value Dorian's opinion very much when it comes to social issues like this too, because he started Geeks of Color. He has been. You talk about someone who fights the good fight. He knows how to fight the good fight.
I agree.
Yeah.
Dorian does not just throw rocks at people.
He puts love and effort and work into everything he does
a
and just shows.
$1,000,000%, and that's why I wanted to talk to him. I want to get his honest opinion on it. And-
If I had to guess, which is not fair because he's not in here,
Yeah.
but I think that he probably would think that Kevin Hart should have apologized or should have lost the
yeah,
job.
or maybe not. I mean, that's
maybe not.
So what's he working on? Because I really would like to get his point of view on this.
He got pulled away for something.
All right, bother him. I really want to talk to him about this
Brett,
because
go talk to him.
What do you think?
no, because if
Could we ask stupid Cobster? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, any of you guys. I mean, so Cobster, Alex, does anybody in there think that they reacted harshly?
I think everyone's very reactionary for a lot of things. I was really upset with the James Gunn stuff, and I understand what he tweeted was a dumb thing to tweet, but to outright fire him without any kind of due process, and it's really annoying. You can't get away. Everything that you say, everyone's walking on pins and needles,
Right.
And it's just really annoying.
But then
really
did
annoying.
you like that the Academy actually did not do that and in fact gave him an option?
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do. It's
Right.
like, hey, you said this shit, whether you meant it or not, you just apologize for it if you want to still do the gig. Because at the end of the day, it's their gig,
Right.
It's their thing, it's their rules. And
And yeah, even if you apologize before, like how hard is it to say I'm sorry again that maybe people didn't hear that apology or see that apology?
Have any of you guys ever done anything like cheated on somebody or made them not trust you and then you apologize and then like a year later into the relationship, by the way, I've never cheated on anybody, but I've done some effed up things.
Right.
Year into the relationship, there's insecurities. What do? You keep apologizing because if you're sorry, then you're sorry.
Or you get a new relationship.
Or you
Yeah.
get a new relationship.
You start
Or
a
you get
new one.
relationship.
Right. Or the relationship
and that's
ends,
what
yeah.
he
That's
did.
it.
And he
'Cause
was
it's a
like,
tainted
nope,
relationship.
I'm not going to.
That's what he did. He's
Yeah.
doing the Golden Globes. He got
Yeah.
into a different no.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Who is doing the Golden Globes?
No, Kevin Hart. He's got a new relationship.
I don't know.
Do we know who's hosting the Golden Globes?
I hope it's Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
He never
No,
says
it's,
anything bad.
No, yeah, nothing's confirmed yet for
Well,
the Golden
well,
Globes.
let me ask a question though too, because it's one of those things. Like, why? I guess it goes back to the fact that because he was hosting the Oscars, but why is Eminem stuff still okay? You go back and listen to some, and I love Eminem. You go back and listen to some of his. There is some absolute horrendous.
When you say it's okay, by what means do you mean it's okay?
What do you mean? What's okay?
When you because he isn't being asked to do any of these things. It's okay with who?
Well, people aren't going after him if they wanted to go, because if you went through everybody's tweets and everybody's lyrics and everybody, I guess because the reason why you could say that Eminem says that a lot of his stuff is character or satire, right? So you can get away with it. But then Kevin Hart could say, this was in characters as a far me being comedy. It's a comedian.
But he didn't say that.
I mean, he
could've.
did. He leaned on the comedy. It was set for comedic tone that he was embarrassed for, but it's but again, it's because he was set for this job.
Yeah,
and he was
it's
set for
because
this
of the job.
big job. So go back to that, guys. I'm sorry. So Andy Samberg and Sandra Oh
yeah.
are going to be doing the Golden Globes.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did see that.
I
Oh,
like
what
that.
an interesting combo.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's Sandra Oh working on these days? What's she on?
She's on that killing. What's it called?
Grey's
Killing
Anatomy.
Eve. Killing Eve. No, she hasn't been on that in a couple
What
of
is
years.
this?
Killing
It's
Eve.
still
One
on?
of the biggest
I think it
shows.
is.
It's like supposed to be one of the best rated shows, but I don't watch it.
Yeah.
Am I making up the title? Killing Eve. Killing.
Killing Eve.
Oh,
Killing
It
Eve.
is.
Yeah. Oh, Killing Eve. And do we know? And so have there been? I know the only rumor that I saw that people really have been pushing towards Eddie Murphy to try to get him because remember he was supposed to do the Oscars
I
a
haven't
couple
seen
years
that.
ago, and then the
That
Brett
was
Ratner
around the
stuff went down.
Dreamgirls time, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah. I want to
What
say
did-
it was.
What
but-
did Brett Ratner have to do with Eddie Murphy?
Brett Ratner was supposed to direct the Oscars,
Right.
And then all that stuff went down with him, and then they told him to get lost, and Eddie Murphy was like, "I'm not doing it without Ratner."
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they were tight because they worked on that movie together.
Tower
Interesting.
Heist.
Yeah. yeah.
Comedy is this whole thing is about that comedy and specifically comedians amongst each other. They're trying. It's being edgy, always being and trying to push that envelope. And I think sometimes people just even knee jerk go like, "Oh yeah, this is out there," and then
Right.
it shoots them in the. They're trying to get you're trying to get the comedians
Yeah.
in the
Is
back,
he-
as they say.
Is he religious? I wonder if Kevin Hart's religious.
I don't know, but I don't have a problem. No, sorry, I have a huge problem with what he said, but I don't have an unforgivable problem with what he
Right.
said. I have ooh, that wasn't a good joke. You should apologize
Yeah.
problem.
Right.
If he had come out and been like, guys, it was a long time ago. I didn't even feel that way then. I don't feel that way now. It was a crappy joke. That's what it was.
Right.
I really do support the LGBTQ community, and I apologize to anybody I offended. I would have been like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he did kind of, right? Didn't he post something he was
After
in?
he-
Yeah, it was a whole
It was an
like
article, yeah.
wrong order. No, then he did this some late night. I heard it on the radio. It was some late night thing. He was in
The whole thing was handled
Australia
terribly.
or something,
And
and
he totally apologized.
Yeah, and it's like, well,
and said something great.
Right.
yeah,
And I
but
was
that's
like-
probably a publicist saying, "Hey, dude."
It's gonna you're
Yeah.
gonna be in trouble here.
Yeah,
You're- Now
yeah.
we're playing into the next couple movies we're about
Yeah.
to do here. Don't
Yeah.
worry about the Oscars anymore. Now
Yeah.
now you gotta play catch up here for your career.
We got Jumanji 2,
Right.
right? What's happening?
I mean, there's a lot of things that he was working on, and now that starts to bleed over.
Yes.
And the studios are going, wait a minute.
Yep.
I don't know if I want to be associated with this guy's not apologized. And then the communities are getting angry at the guy now. It's like I agree with you. If you go out right up top and say, look, it was 2009. It was an attempt at a dumb joke that landed terribly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry the Academy was offended. I'm sorry to the community that I offended, and I am ready to host this thing and get this all behind me. I think people would have been like, all right, it's stupid. He shouldn't have said it. It looks like he's remorsed here, and people just kind of looking for some shit to
I don't know
throw
if
at him.
everybody would have,
A
but
lot of people.
I would have
Yeah,
definitely.
I think it would have been a little bit more, but